Let's get started. Today, I want to talk about three things I learned about time management. So, about a year ago, on this channel, I did talk about. So there was a video that I made about how to best manage your time at work, the efficient tools and tactics and strategies. Right. So in that video, you can find it. I actually talked about the importance and the distinction about important task and urgent task. So important tasks, as the name suggests, it's things that it's more for long-term growth. And urgent ones, it's something that you have to do on the day, but it may or may not generate a long-term, benefit or progress for your long-term career. And you do need to benefit both of them, right? You need to grow as well as doing what you're doing on a daily basis. So do have a look of that. But what I want to share today is actually what I learned using what I have using all of this as in my 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 side of the stories, or what I learned to better utilize all those tools. So the tools and the strategies, what I was it started with what I was using anyways, but I want to share some realizations and how can you best use it. Let's get started. The first one is realistic and respect. 2R. Realistic and respect. Well, as the name suggests, it's just really coming back down to realistic, right? You still need a combination when you set time goals. So nowadays, what I do is I do have a monthly goal. We have quarterly meetings as well. I mean, as a business, and especially because we're running. So there's another school that I'm running, online school for you to build your online coaching business. If you're interested, you can find out more about that from our Facebook as well. Back to that. So there are more things that I'm doing, but I realize you really has to be realistic. You need to have a combination of the goals when you set time goals. On a weekly basis, I set my goals, and it's mainly just based on my calendar. So very easy and very lean, but it has to be realistic. So when I was young, I believe you probably have experienced this as well. Very, very ambitious. Right, so I want to achieve so many things during a day. Lemonade, and I'll do a little bit of yoga stretch. I will do some exercise, and then I will do meditation and clear the air. There were just so many things to do just in the morning, and not to mention during the day. I'll be like, I'm writing 2 articles, I'm going to make one video, I will have 3 clients, and even one client, I would have to read their reports, prepare the session. After the session, have to write, my reviews and suggestions and sending relevant information, of course. Not to mention we're creating online course nowadays. So there are a lot to do. And to be honest, when I was younger, I was able to do that. It was I can do it, but it's very intense. And I'm pretty sure you've heard of this term that people who are really busy, they are using that busyness to get the sense of fulfillment, and they are also using that sense of business to kind of avoid other feelings they don't want to feel, or other things that they know they're important but they don't want to deal with it. Sidetrack a little bit, let's come back to this. So yes, it's all about realistic. Now what I do every day, I just set 2 or 3 goals, no more than that. Of course, these are 2 or 3 goals that's carefully selected, that fulfills what's important but also urgent. It's productive and it's efficient. So realistic and attainable, achievable, measurable goals. Time. Second part, it's really respect. Respect your time boundaries. When you set your time for something, obviously there was a reason that you sit down and planned for it in your calendar. Then you need to respect it. When other things comes up, it's not going to be easily swayed away. It's something that you need to stick to. But of course, it comes back to when you plan your time, you planned it for a reason, right? So one thing I would really suggest nowadays with iPhone or Android, I actually use both. They both have this function of non-disturbing mode, and when you put things into calendar, it actually come up to suggest, do you want to set the phone into non-disturbance mode, so you can focus on one thing at a time. I tried doing many things at the same time, and I believe a lot of you can be similar to me, good at multitasking, but I advocate doing one thing at a time, doing productive one thing at a time. So I used to say you can use, there are several applications, the tomato app, the planting tree app, and nowadays it's just so easy with the phone in having the non-disturbance mode in themselves. Just use that. That's my point number one. All right, number 2 is time blocking. I mentioned this before, but after 2 or 3 years using this, it's really working for me. So yes, block your time, and it has to be again a combination of the purpose or goals or your tasks. Some are important, some for your growth, some for you to discuss, some are for meetings, some for communication, some for building network. Whatever and whenever, it's for your life and it's also for your work. And the next most important thing, and one thing only, it's put it in your calendar. So when you put it in your calendar, you can actually see how much time it's going to take. You can actually better prepare. You can actually be aware of how you're spending your time, right? Time is our most precious assets. Otherwise, it can get wasted, or you're doing things really in the gap of things, or wasting time, to put it very simple. And the most useful app in this application, in this scenario, is just your calendar. Yeah. I really love my calendar nowadays. Some of the things for life, like for example, when we go to the beach on Sunday, it's really warm. You don't necessarily, I still put it in calendar, but you don't need to put a notification or notification every 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Some, yes, you do need that, but it still helps me to set up my day in a way. What do I dress like? How do I want to eat so I feel good when I go to the beach? It's really good to help me to set the tone, to set expectations, and to make everything work in the way it's supposed to work. That's the second point. And thirdly, it's leaving gap in between time blocks. Very, very important. What do I mean? I used to have back-to-back meeting. I stopped back-to-back meeting, and I still have back-to-back schedules. Writing article, right jump into meeting, right jump into training, right jump into a conversation with our assistants. No, you need gap in between. Reason being, there are things that sometimes your conversation, people can be late and you may need to caught up into talking about certain things, or you can have sudden messages, sudden emails, certain people you have to suddenly get back to. So having that gap is so important, not to mention you still need to go to the loo, you need to go to the bathroom, you need to prepare some drinks, you need to cut an apple for yourself, and those gaps are so important. Sometimes even just 10 minutes, I walk down, I go to the grass and I stand there. It recharges me. And the gap can be long or short. For me, I have gap afternoon nowadays. So in the gap, it's not that I won't work. It's totally up to you. Whatever you want to do, you totally relax. You can read, you can go watch a movie. It's time for yourself. Or you can crazily work creation comes in. It's where I'm really truly connected, really deep inspirational ideas, articles comes up. That's how we created our online entrepreneur program. That's how we created the name. So many good things comes up when you leave a gap and be present, right? I'm sure that I mentioned before that sometimes busyness is just a way of covering up, of facing yourself, being with yourself. So I really enjoy leaving gap in between appointments, leaving gap even in between my personal time, just to space out, just to read, just to watch something. All right, that's the 3 things I want to share today, and I will keep you posted in terms of how to best manage my time. But of course, if you do need help with your own time management or efficiently using your time, or anything with your career, with your life, to reach out to us. I wish the best for you. If you like it, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great weekend. Bye! So